But what I wanted to talk to you about today are the three pieces of equipment, the main pieces of equipment that you need to be able to do your walking and your running in this event, and hopefully do it without getting injured. Because a lot of times you start out with something like this and you get injured and then you quit. But we're going to try to keep you from having that happen so that you can continue on and do the entire clinic. So the first piece of equipment that you need is going to be the correct shoe. And when I say correct shoe, there's all different arch types. Every one of us have a different type of foot. And so the main three arch types, this is the high rigid arch. And if you have an arch like this, well, then you need a certain shoe for that. And the shoe that you need for it is what we call a neutral shoe or a cushion shoe. If you've got a high rigid arch like that, normally what you do is you land and you stay to the outside instead of landing neutral. And our goal is for everyone, whether you've got a high arch or low arch or medium arch, our goal is for you to land so that you're landing neutral and you're not going to the outside or the inside so that you're causing some stress or pain or something like that on your legs and your knees. So this shoe is neutral, and the reason it works for that type of arch type is soft in the middle. When you land, it's soft enough in the middle that it flexes in, and then it causes your foot to go straight instead of hanging to the outside like it would if you had a different type of shoe on. So if you've got that high rigid arch, you need to make sure that you've got the right shoe on. A clue if you're in the wrong shoe and if you've got an arch like this, if you start having pain on the outside of your leg, maybe in your shin area on the outside, it's very possible you have the wrong type of shoe on for that arch and you're still going to the outside. It's making you go to the outside even more. So very, very important to get the right shoe for that particular arch. Second type of foot is more of a medium arch. You can see that it's lower here on the side than what the other shoe was. And if you've got a foot like this, then you're going to need some kind of stability normally. And what happens with this foot is when you start to land, you will go in a little bit, and we call that overpronate. And so when your foot goes in like that, well, then you're going to be causing stress on the inside of your legs instead of the outside of your leg. So you need a shoe that's got stability in it. And when we say stability, then you're going to need a more dense material that's in this area right here. Because then when you land and that foot's trying to go in, this shoe is going to hold it up. And again, when you land, you're going to be landing very neutral. You're not going to be going to the outside or the inside. And then that's going to take the stress off of your knees on the inside. Then we have the very flat arch. You might have seen an arch like this or have one like this. Okay, when you've got an arch like this, you can see when it lands. That's about how it looks. Now, can you imagine what kind of stress that's putting on your legs and your hip and your knees? And you know, it's very, very important that you get the correct shoe when you've got an arch like that, because you're going to be landing just about like this. This requires what we call a motion control shoe. As you can see, there's a lot more material in the shoe in this area, and it's much more dense, so that when that foot is trying to go in like this shoe is going to hold it up so that it's landing very neutral again. And so everybody then, if they're in the correct shoe, they're landing neutral instead of going in or out. And that way you're not causing as much stress on your hips and your knees and your legs. So very, very important, your first piece of equipment is to get the correct shoe. Now, a lot of you go for the cute shoe, but we can find a cute shoe in some of these. But don't go with it because of looks. Go with it first because of how it fits. Then the second piece of equipment that we're going to talk about is socks. Now on socks, what you need on socks is a non-cotton sock. I know you probably heard all these years, cotton sock is what you need. Cotton, when it gets wet, it rubs together and it causes friction. And if you're going to get any kind of blisters, you're going to get it from a cotton sock. So you need socks that what we call has technical type material in it. It's either going to have dry fit, Cool Max, different types of material like that, but no cotton. When that sock gets wet, it takes the sweat to the top of your foot and then it evaporates, and then you're not near as likely to get blisters. Then it's just a matter, do you want one that comes like just above your ankle? Do you want one that comes like even with the top of your shoe? Do you like a thin sock or a thick sock? All of that's personal preference. The main thing is to make sure that it does not have cotton in it so that it's wicking. And then ladies, as you're finding out today, the third piece of equipment for you is a good supportive sports bra. So when we talk about a good supportive sports bra, as you notice today, the ladies have been measuring you to make sure that we get you in the right one, so that when you're out walking or running, that you're very, very comfortable in your bra, and that you're not getting any bounce when you're walking or running. And so that way you're much more comfortable doing your activity. This is one that if you don't need a lot of support, this works great. And again, our bras are just like our socks. They don't have cotton in them, because you don't want a cotton bra that's wet and causing sweat and causing you a lot of chafing. So if you get one that has the technical material, again, it's going to take the sweat away from you. This is another one that's very supportive. As you can see, it fastens in the back with hooks. It also has the racer back. The good thing about this one is it has the Velcro straps here, which makes it much easier to get into. We tell everybody that this bra is a workout to get into, but once you get into it, it does a super job. But it is a little hard to get into, but you'll love it once you get it on. On your bras, the main thing that you want to remember is when you fasten it in the back, you want to fasten in this very first hole here, because between sweating and between the salt in your body, it's going to stretch a little bit. Well, if you fasten it all the way over here, then you don't have anywhere to go. So if you fasten it in that last one, as it stretches a little bit, then you've got a place to go, and it's still going to fit you very well. This is another very supportive bra. It has wires underneath, so it actually does a really good job of supporting you and holding you in place. Again, it fastens in the back, and it also has adjustable straps. What we like about the adjustable straps, we're not all the same distance from here to here, and so you can adjust it so that it's going to fit you better for what you need. And then we have started carrying the E-nail bra, and we can go all the way up, I believe, to a 52 in this one. And so this has been a very, very supportive bra too, and it fastens down the front, so that it's easy to get in and out of. That's the three main pieces of equipment that you need to do this and do it correctly. And then as you start your walking and your running, you'll find out that in the apparel, it's kind of like your shoes and your socks. Once you ever try technical type apparel, you're not going to want to do cotton anymore. Cotton in your tops and everything, when you put your shirts on, if it's cotton, it's going to get wet. And in the winter, you're going to freeze to death because it's wet and it doesn't go anywhere. And in the summer, it's going to cause chafing. So you want the type of material that is technical, and it's going to take the sweat away from you. And once you ever wear anything like this, it's so much lighter, and it also dries very quickly, that you're not going to want to even think about going in cotton again. And when you come to the apparel, there's all different types that you can look at. There's this is a nice little outfit here, and then you've got the shorts too that are also the technical type apparel. This is nice for summer and late spring. This is our Curvy Lady, one from our Curvy Lady selection. Nice top here. And then again, a little longer short. If you like a longer short, has pockets, technical type material. And here's another style. These have the thumb holes, which are super, because if you start out and it's cold and your hands are cold, you can pull it down over your hand and you've almost got a full glove on. And then if your hand gets warm, then you can just push it back. In the winter, and we've had plenty of that lately, haven't we? Tights, to me, are very, very warm. I like a tight better than I do the pant, because if the pant is loose, then I'm still getting cold air. So if you've got the tights, you're not going to get any of the cold air. If you don't feel comfortable wearing the tights, you can always put a pair of shorts over it. Or you can either wear the pant. And this is a nice pant that you can use in your running, working out, walking, and also those are also available. This is more of a transition from spring to summer. It's kind of a lighter weave and everything, but it's just perfect until it gets really, really hot. You can still wear this one and be comfortable in it. Has the hood. And these are just a small sample of what's out there. And then capris. Capris are very popular because they'll come to this part right here. I have ladies that all summer long wear capris. So the main thing on the apparel is what I tell everybody, you know, it's going to cost a little bit more, but you're going to get tired of it before it wears out because it lasts forever. And what you can do is reward yourself, you know, maybe after a couple of weeks, and I didn't think I could do that, and I did it, you know, reward yourself with a piece of apparel. And you can keep adding like that, and then first thing you know, you've got a nice outfit that you can run in that you'll be comfortable in. And then some of the other things that are available headbands, summer and winter. I wear a headband because I wear contacts, so I have to keep the sweat out of my eyes. So these are a nice one. They cover your ears, and these are nice summer or winter. Or if you need a thicker one in the winter that's warmer, then they have those available. If you're like everybody else, you carry your phone with you when you go walking or running. These are super for that. I know it doesn't look like it. If I can get it unzipped. It's been in the back of my car. It probably got wet, damp from all this winter. But this phone with the OtterBox on it will go in there, and I still have room where I can get my ID, I can get my keys. If I want to carry some nutrition or something like that, I can also get that in there. And then another thing that will probably happen to some of you, if you haven't been running or walking or anything like that, you may start having some little aches and pains. Sometimes it'll be shin splints, sometimes it may be in your knee and all, but we don't want you to quit because of that. So many times this will happen and you'll quit your exercise program and think, well, I can't do that because this hurts or that hurts. But instead of quitting, talk to somebody, call us. We'll be happy to talk to you about it, but there's always something that you can do. They make knee straps that are really good for the knee, if it's your knee. If you happen to be having heel pain, then there's a strap that we can put around your foot that will really help alleviate the heel pain. There's also a little sleeve that with the heel pain, sometimes it's caused by plantar fasciitis. This is super for that. There are leg sleeves for shin splints. These are good. So don't quit because of that. Now, if it's chronic and it keeps on, yeah, talk to your coach, talk to your director, and maybe they might recommend that you need to talk to your doctor. But at least, give it a try. There's no need to quit in most cases. Another thing that I call runners walkers' best friend is Body Glide. If you're chafing anywhere, maybe it's under your arm. Sometimes when you got on a sleeveless top and you're doing this, you can have chafing. Sometimes it can be between your legs, from your shorts. Occasionally it can be under your bra. This stuff is super. And it goes on like deodorant. So you don't have to put your hands on it or anything like that. You can just rub it on, which works great for somebody who wears contacts like me. So that is another good thing that is out there. And then I know most of you are doing intervals. So the Gym Boss is a super little thing. I wish I had invented it myself because I like it really well, because what you can do is you set it. Say if you're doing 1 minute and 4, well then you just set it for 1 and 4. You just clip it on your belt, and you can either have it vibrate, or you can have it chime, or you can have it do both. And what's good about that, when you're out there and there's 500 people on the track, like there is at Russellville, well then you will have a lot of people talking, and it chimes and you don't hear it. And you're supposed to be walking and you're running. And so this way you feel it vibrate, and then well, okay, it's time to change what I'm doing. And that makes it very, very nice. And I know they have some apps on some of the phones too that you can probably use. But the main thing I want you to remember, the 3 pieces of equipment, the correct shoe, non-cotton socks, and a good sports bra. And then if you got that, you're ready to go. You're off to a good start. And then the other things you can add as you go along. And you're ready to do your clinic. And I hope to see every one of you at the race. And it's a very, very rewarding 5K for you to come to. And we would love to have you there. And with that, if anybody has any questions, I'm available. Any questions? Anybody? Yes. Sure. Okay. If you're out there and say the weather that we've been having lately, very, very cold out there, what you want to do is layer. The layer you want next to you is going to be the one that is the technical type material, because what that will do is takes that sweat, it takes it to the outside and keeps you dry, and then you can even have cotton on top of that if you like. The other day I went out and I had a layer on underneath, had this jacket on, and when I came in, and it was freezing, I mean it was in the 20s, and when I came in I took this jacket off, it was as wet as it could be and just almost like it's raining, when you took it off and shook it, but I was dry. And so if you layer, well then that way you can always take off, tie it around your waist and all, and you're still going to be warm. But if you don't have the right layer next to you, then you're going to be colder, possibly colder. But be sure and layer in this type of weather. Any other questions? Okay, well thank y'all very much for coming. We appreciate it, and good luck in your clinic here. And we will be looking for you in Conway at the 5K. Thank you.